Now you're playing with power. Super power. So today, guys, we're going to be taking a look at this brand new Super Nintendo Raspberry Pi case by Collector Craft. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this party started. Okay guys, so here she is. The Super Tiny Nintendo Raspberry Pi 3 case from Collector Craft. Their website right there. Nice little top view of the system on the top of the box. So I do want to point out, those of you who have watched my videos have seen me post a review on the Super Tiny Nintendo Pi 3 case before, but that was the 3D printed version. Collector Craft, before I really get into this, Collector Craft has been the go-to company for Pi 3 custom cases as far as like system cases, stuff like that goes. Nintendo 64, you know, Super Nintendo, all that. Because, not knocking anybody, but they've had their methods down and their production down perfect on their 3D printed cases. Just amazing work that they have done. But now, with this little fella right here, they've taken things to the next level. Let's go ahead and take a look. So this case right here, this is the way it's going to come packaged. Build your own console. Boom. So if you want to forget about the SNES Classic Edition, this is your SNES Classic Edition right here. You could build your own, obviously. Let's get that paper out of here. So this little fella right here is a full-on manufactured mold injected Pi 3 case. This is a very professionally done case. It still has that similar aesthetic to the original case, but it just has taken it to the next level as far as the color goes, the quality of the production on this. It's like as if you got a real system. The plastic feels like a real system. The colors look like the real deal. Everything is just flipping awesome with this. So those are the looks. This thing just, I mean, look at the power and reset there. Flipping amazing. And just, you know, if giving you a close-up there of just the quality of the plastic. And I just want to point out that this was a prototype version, an earlier version that they got before they did the final go on the full-on production. And they are available now, and I will link in the description where you can buy these at. But when they sent me this, they said, hey, you know, this is an early version. Just to note, the full-on ones that are going to be for sale are going to look even better than this. These ones will have like minor imperfections, you know, all that kind of stuff. For me, looking at this case, for Collector Craft to let me know that speaks volumes. They take so much pride in the work they do. This case right here, if I would have bought this and received it in the mail, knowing or not knowing that it was a prototype, just thinking, hey, this is the final version, I would have been full on happy with that, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with this prototype case. So to know that the production ones are going to look and feel even better than this is just flipping amazing. So just keep that as note, that if you order these, they're going to be even better than the one I'm holding right here. So I can't find any imperfections on here. Maybe they're just, you know, maybe they seen, you know, a couple little scratches or something and just wanted to let me know that. But I haven't seen anything wrong with the prototype version. But let's go ahead and open her up. You know, the look is one thing. Looks amazing. But does she function? That's the real deal question here. If this thing does not function, if our Pi doesn't fit in here, if we can't get our micro SD card in and out, who gives a damn, right? So obviously that's what we got to do. We got to open her up. So opening this bad boy up, even with this mold injected version, boom, Collector Craft right there. I love that they put their logo on the inside. Just flipping awesome. And I do want to point out the power and reset buttons are just for aesthetics like the last version, but they just look so much better than the last version, even though the last version looked flipping awesome too. They look sick. They don't function, unfortunately, but they look sick. So that's the inside of the top. Now the inside of the bottom here, we have a big ass fan. Bigger than our normal little tiny ones. I'm not sure on the size, if this is 40 millimeters or a little smaller, but this is bigger than our standard fans that we get. So on the inside here, we do have ventilation on the bottom, and then we do have some ventilation right where the fan is. And the way the fan is positioned is to pull out the hot air to keep everything cool on the inside of the system. So you can definitely still fit your heat sinks, have this fan running. It's pulling out that air, cycling the air out. So that definitely should be cool. So then the next thing here is looking at her. We're going to have to mount our Pi right here. So we're going to have to remove these screws. And I may need a different screwdriver. A little smaller Phillips head. And just to make sure I'm not stripping anything. So we got to get those completely out. So now the way we're going to position this is going to be our obviously our micro SD cards right there. So the slot's right there. We're going to line this bad boy up. Go ahead and put our screws back in place. Okay, so now we get all that back into place. And now what we want to do is she does show you where to plug in your fan if you get the version that includes the fan. So we're going to go ahead, plug her in to get her ready to go. And the one thing they did improve, if you get the version with the fan, this is a higher quality fan than they originally included in the first version. With that, the fan that they included, it wasn't bad. I never really had an issue with it. But this fan is a lot quieter. It's a lot nicer fan versus the original version. So that's an added bonus. They didn't include the same, when they developed this and they were looking at producing this, they wanted to make sure they were using all the best pieces and parts and, manufacturing processes and stuff like that. So they took, people's criticisms and concerns with the original, which there really wasn't that many. But they did improve upon that, and they made sure if you get the version that comes with the fan, that you're getting a high quality fan. This fan really is, it's a better quality fan than any of the fans I own for the Raspberry Pi. So that's a definite plus. The other thing, and I didn't point it out while I had it open, but there is a space where you can mount an LED. I don't have a spare LED at the moment, but you can mount one there. Easy peasy. You can pop the little LED in there, plug them in. If you need help on where to plug in the LED, just hit me up in the comments. I've done a couple videos where I've shown that. But maybe like a little, LED right there, any color you want, will look pretty awesome. So no point in plugging this in. Obviously, it's containing our Pi 3, but we do need to make sure that our micro SD card can be inserted and removed easily. So here, I've got my micro SD card. Here is our Pi 3 and our super tiny Tendo. And there we go. Inserted easily. For my big fingers, this is plenty of space, the little cutout and groove here to where I can reach it. Comes out pretty easily. Boom. She's in. Boom, she's out. And it kind of, on the case here, you see it's a decline. It's pretty much, I'm pretty sure, without asking them, I'm pretty sure the design is so when you slide it out, you could just kind of you know, the micro SD card, if you can't get a good grip on it, it could just slide down and you pull it out. So that seems like a pretty good idea, the way they did that. I mean, I'm assuming that's what it's meant for, but it passes the test for me. Oops. Pretty easily. She does have to go in a little bit so she's not hanging out over the edge, which I like that. And she does, you know, going through it a few times, you know, you might have to get used to the groove there. But definite easy access to the micro SD card. And you do have these big rubber feet, so she's elevated off of your table or wherever you have her, so all the ventilation actually works properly. If there were no feet on there and she's flush to the ground, the ventilation's not going to do jack. It's just going to be closed off. So that's cool. So what do you guys think? Is this a keeper? I'm really digging the aesthetic, the quality to it, the little design changes they implemented, the newer fan, and just the overall look. This is a top quality case in my opinion. I'm really digging it. I give her 2 thumbs up. I really love this case, and I'm going to be using it for myself. Bam. Take a look at her. Link will be in the description. Smash that like button if you could. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Take a look at Collector Craft's website and the links to purchase from them if you so choose. And I will catch you guys next time. Boom.